During the trial, we have also seen more and more images from the Capitol, including blatantly racist symbols, things like the Confederate flag, and a noose set up right outside the building. Jamie Raskin described what one African-American officer faced as he tried to protect the Capitol.
One of our Capitol officers who defended us that day was a longtime veteran of our force, a brave and honorable public servant who spent several hours battling the mob as part of one of those blue lines defending the Capitol in our democracy. And afterwards, overwhelmed by emotion, he broke down in the rotunda. And he cried for 15 minutes. And he shouted out, "I got called an N-word 15 times today." And then he recorded, "I sat down with one of my buddies, another black guy, and tears just started streaming down my face. And I said, 'What the F, man? Is this America?'"
I want to bring in my next guest to discuss. Ben Jealous, former head of the NAACP and also president of People for the American Way. When I got home last night, my kids were watching the video that we all saw that Congressman Raskin and the House managers put out, that compelling 13 minutes. And he turned to me and said, "Can you imagine if the mob was black, what would have happened?" And I said, "Yeah." And I was thinking about all the conversations we had where there was shootings and there was a person of color on the other end of a confrontation with law enforcement, and the arguments, and sometimes I've said it myself, Ben, where, well, why didn't you just listen to the cop? Why didn't you just do what the cop said? You had people who weren't, forget about disobeying, they were attacking the cops. And we saw the outcome. I'm curious, when you saw the video, did that same question, come up with you as well?
It did. I mean, I think it came up during the uprisings. And honestly, we know the answer. We saw when there were peaceful black protesters, the hundreds of officers, National Guardsmen even, that they had on the steps of the Capitol. Where I'm stuck is really is the videos of the mob hunting black officers there. We know that an officer died. We know an officer was maimed. We know officers were trampled. And we also have video of that mob that the president incited literally hunting black officers in the hallway of the Capitol. And that what I think allows you to draw a straight line from the white race riots from the 1880s through the 1920s, the coup d'etats we saw in places like Wilmington, North Carolina, and Danville, Virginia, and Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Rosewood, Florida, and on, and that mob that Donald Trump incited at the U.S. Capitol.
And the other imagery, we're going to see apparently a lot more of it as some, to this point, unseen video from the security cameras and other sources. But, the Confederate flag going through the halls of Congress, I know race is an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people still to this day, but to ignore that aspect of it, it's really rewriting that awful day.
No, it truly is. To see the Confederate battle flag flown in the U.S. Capitol because the president incited that mob that flew it there, speaks volumes, and it really speaks to the need for us to really educate the children of this country about the history of this country so that they understand, frankly, what patriotism is and what patriotism is not.
Sadly, Ben, we're talking about a whole bunch of un-American things lately. Let's hope we start to get things right. Ben Jealous, thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And up next, Republicans, they're being forced to face the horrors of January 6th and Donald Trump's role in it. They're going to soon have to go on record and cast their vote. After the break, I'm going to talk about the political calculus that they have to figure out here. I'll do that with ABC News political director Rick Klein.